a chit chat with the chamber. Tell us all about your business. What's your future plans? Tune in when you can. Hello, this is Malinda Obershaw, and I am the new Executive Director of the Delavan-Delavan Lake Chamber, and we are doing a podcast called Have a Little Chit Chat with the Chamber. And I am here with Frank, the President of the Chamber. And before we get started, we just want to thank the 2023 corporate sponsors who are making this podcast possible, and that is Lake Lawn Resort, Cunis Auto, Geneva 10, Delavan Health Services, Simon's Realty Group, and the City of Delavan. So thank you very much for your awesome partnership with us. We really appreciate it. And we also want to give out a shout to John at Stream Dudes, who's putting this podcast on for us and recording it and doing all the magic behind the cameras.
We love you, John. So, Malinda.
Hi.
Hi. You started on the job a couple months ago?
May 8th.
May 8th. You got that day ingrained in your head.
I do.
I know when you started, we were kind of going into the busiest time of the year for the chamber as far as any events and...
Yes. Everybody said this is a perfect time for you to come. And I'm thinking, holy cow, I think it maybe after that I should have come. But no, it was a perfect time because I could see a lot of our members in action, see a lot of our great summer events happening. And I basically just put on a seatbelt and went along for the ride.
Yeah. And I know we're going to talk about a few things today, even upcoming chamber stuff that's going on. But for those that haven't met you yet, that are chamber members, how about a little background on your professional career leading up to becoming the director of the chamber?
Sure. Not talking about summer jobs, but talking about real jobs. I've only had two. I kind of started off in advertising for the Delavan Enterprise in the Walworth County Week. I started there right before I got married, and then 9 months into it, I got married. And so that was wonderful. I'm born and raised in Delavan, so to work for the Delavan Enterprise in the Walworth County Week was amazing. So I did that for 15 years, and then unfortunately, the company I worked for closed down the Walworth County Week part of it, and so I was approached to go over work for the Beloit Daily News. So I was living in Beloit probably a year before that, probably not, maybe 6 months. And so it was a good fit. I met somebody at my church that worked for the Beloit Daily News, so they headhunted me. And we made that move and worked there for 15 years. So I think I have a situation where every 15 years I must make a move because it was exactly 15 years for both of those. Wow. And so at the Beloit Daily News, I did the same thing I did in Walworth County, which was advertising digitally, newspapers, websites, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we got you for 15 years. So we got
let's
some,
hope so.
We got some time.
Uh-huh.
You spent a lot of time in Beloit. I heard that you were on quite a few of their committees for their Downtown Business Association, and you had a big hand in, growing that community. As we've all seen the past 10 years, Beloit's been growing and growing and growing, but you did have a hand in that. So how was that experience like?
Sure. It was probably 6 months into my working at the Beloit Daily News. I was approached and asked to be a representative for the paper at the promotions committee of the Downtown Beloit Association. So I sat on a committee and then, maybe a year or so later became the chair of that committee and then moved to the exec board and then on the board and basically did that up until January of this last year. So I had served my 9 years on the board, but really had been involved for 14 years in some way, shape, or form. Downtown Beloit is amazing. They've got a great community there. We do a lot. I say we. It's hard for me to say that I'm not there anymore after 14 years of being a part of the group, so I apologize if I keep saying we or make it in the present. But we have an amazing farmers market on Saturdays that the promotions committee was a part of. They have a great Fridays in the Park, which is really cool. It kind of reminds me of our market at Tower Park, where they have some music and they have food that comes down there, and then people bring picnic chairs and come down and just listen at the park. So
And for those that haven't been to the Delavan
Mm-hmm.
market at Tower Park, tell us a little bit about that, because there has been some enhancements this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it started out as something very small a few years ago, and then COVID shut stuff down, and then we tried revamping it last year. And it looks like there's a lot more activity this year, a lot more vendors. If you can tell us a little bit about
Sure.
that too. And
I can't speak to the past. I just
Yeah.
know that it's my favorite day of the week. I absolutely love Thursdays. I love being out at the park. It's gorgeous. I've driven back and forth and never realized how much room there really was at the park.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely a gorgeous park. And so we have, we're ranging between 30 and 35 vendors that come down.
Wow.
They set up. We are now getting produce. This will be our third week where produce has started to happen and started to come. With the drought and all, the produce
Yeah.
was not ready, but we have everything from jewelry. We have a lot of bakery. Some amazing breads are there. Oh my goodness, I really get myself into trouble. I buy pumpkin bread and almond bars. And so that's really great. There are a lot of craft vendors down there. We've got 3 food vendors, so you can come after work and you can get a slice of
Yeah.
pizza. You can get some ribs. Sometimes he has ribs. He's got amazing sandwiches, and you can get some tacos. And then we also, the chamber is selling alcohol this year. So that is something that is new. We have a beer garden. So the street there is closed off with plenty of picnic tables. So after work, you can come down and unwind with a beverage and have something to eat and then
Yeah.
stroll the park. And the other thing that we have added is every week we've had music. So from 5 to 7, we have music. This week we have Tex-Mex music.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm pretty excited about that. But we have music booked, and it's just really cool to be able to stroll down there. The weather has been amazing for the most part.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of shade if it's too hot, and there's fountains there that if there's the wind's blowing right, you get a little spray mist, and it's all good. But it's really a pleasant experience to come down and just walk around the park, grab a seat on the bleachers, listen to some music, and have a cold one.
What type of music are you guys switching up the musical
Yes.
acts every week?
We are. We've had jazz. We've had a group come out from Milwaukee that does top hits.
Okay.
This Tex-Mex is new for us. The next couple of weeks, we have a new band that's coming. I believe they're called Tilt. I'm not going to get the right name. Tilt Band. I think it's just Tilt Band. And they're local. His wife owns the yarn shop downtown, and he's been
okay.
really helpful in helping us find bands. And I'm really excited to invite you all to come every week. But on August 24th, the pep band and the high school jazz band will be down there.
Oh, nice.
So I am super excited because I'm a Delavan-Delavan Comet. So I'm excited to listen to the band, and that really is going to be a great day.
Now, if there's like a musical artist out there that happens to catch this and they want to get in on this action,
Yes.
are you guys booked up for the rest of the season?
Right now we have one date available, and it's the last date of the month.
Okay.
So they can certainly give us a call at 262-728-5095 and contact us about that. We can't afford a large band. Our budget is quite small.
Okay.
But you can put out tip jars, and we promote it like crazy
Yeah.
on our social media. Let folks know that you are there, and then we take pictures and videos while you are there. So it's a source of getting your music out there to the public as well.
Would you take a reservation for next year? So you get this acoustic artist that
Heck
says,
yeah.
hey, you're booked up this year. Can you put me on the list for next year?
Absolutely. We certainly can do that. Basically, our market has started the middle of June, and it goes to September 14th. So
Okay. So
I'm
that's every
assuming that'll be
Thursday?
the same next year's schedule. So
Okay.
every Thursday from 3 until 7, and the band starts at 5. We didn't want the band to play the whole entire time. That's
Sure.
a lot of
Yeah.
time to fill. So the band is from 5 to 7, but the market starts at 3.
Okay. Perfect. I think we should give another shout out to the corporate sponsors.
Heck
so
yeah.
for Lake Lawn Resort, Cunis, Geneva 10, Delavan Health Services, Simon's Realty Group, and the City of Delavan. Thank you guys again for being sponsors this year and being sponsors of this podcast. And to Stream Dudes for this beautiful podcast studio they have right here in Delavan.
This is high tech.
Yeah, no, this is really cool. And I know John isn't in this room because he's working the boards somewhere in this building. But I'm most positive if there's anybody out there that wants to do their own podcast, I believe this studio is available to rent. So you could reach out to Stream Dudes, even if you're a beginner. We're beginners, and John gave us the rundown, and
Yes.
it's easier than I thought it would be. So thank you to everybody out there. Is there anything else coming up next? I know the car show just finished. The golf
Huge
outing.
shout out to Noble Insurance for all their work on the
stop.
car show.
Thank you, thank you.
I can't let that go by without a huge shout out to your lovely wife Doris, yourself, and Rosie, who spearheaded that. That was awesome.
Doris and Rosie killed it. It was unfortunate that it got started to be planned so late in the game. Unforeseen circumstances led to that. But I already know there's, plans in place for next year to get a jump on that. And I know you're a big part of that. And how was your experience with that, seeing it this year? You hear car show, you've been to a car show. You haven't been to a car show.
I've never
But I
been
know
to a car
most
show.
car shows that even I've been, 25 cars, 50 cars.
Holy cow. There was 600 plus cars.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And I think to me, being first time I was ever at a car show, I've seen cars go down the street. My father-in-law has a 62 Austin Healey. So
beautiful Austin
It
Healey,
is a
might I
beautiful
add.
Austin Healey. And so I'm well aware of cars, they catch your eye. But to me, the coolest thing about it was hearing the stories. All of these car owners have stories about their car. They have stories about their family, if it was a family car, or if they went to certain car shows with a spouse or a partner, business partner or friend. Just the stories that behind the car show and the love of going to a car show or the love they've put into their vehicle. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, but it was really neat when we went out and did a couple Facebook Lives and just to hear people. I mean, it's hard to get somebody to do an interview, you would think, not at the car show.
Yeah.
You just turned around and said, hey, can you tell me about this beautiful car? And it was off to the races.
Yeah.
They just love their vehicles. And
What surprised me too, not so much surprised me, but the kids judging
that was cute.
and how the vehicle owners were super excited to have these little kids come
Take interest in them.
and take interest and ask really good questions, and then to allow them to get in the car. My dad has a couple classic cars and I can't even touch them. I've never driven one. I can't even put a fingerprint on it. So for these guys to welcome these kids to sit in the car, and get the full feel
cool.
of it, I thought that was really amazing,
Yeah.
and creating a good experience for these kids.
Right.
And it was a
And
pretty
talking
cool show.
about the car show, we can't stop talking about it without thanking Lake Lawn for all of their support.
Oh God, yeah.
Not only using their facility or their land at the airport, but just the employees that came out and helped. And a couple things coming up. I'm a part of a chamber-to-chamber group, so we get together with other chambers once a month. And each chamber hosts an event, and our month is October. So be looking for information on that. We know it's going to be at the Treasury. We're floating around 2 different dates in October that we hosted, and it's for all of the chambers, our chamber members and all of the other chambers. They all host an event that opens it up to everybody. And then we also will be at the Walworth County Fair. So these awesome books that we do are guidebooks. If you haven't picked up a guidebook this year, come to the chamber office and get one. These are amazing, but we will have these at the fair. We will have awesome pictures of Delavan. We're going to be at the tourism booth, and we share that with all the other chambers too. So every chamber has a date. Ours is the first Wednesday of the fair. Some of the chamber board members and myself will be running that booth, and everything's going to be about Delavan that day. Unless somebody asks us a question about something else, another community, we will certainly field that question. But on display will be beautiful pictures that we've been taking of our community and videos. If you haven't seen our videos, go to the chamber website, and we've been able to do some great videos about Delavan, and that is in conjunction with Visit Delavan.
Yes.
So we're doing a lot of things to bring business people and businesses to Delavan, which is exciting right now.
And it's interesting you bring up the video footage that you're getting now? Because that's something the chamber or even Visit Delavan never really did. So was that an idea of yours? And how did you make that happen?
Sure.
You know, everybody can say, yeah, I want to put together a video, but
Right.
you got to have a videographer, somebody to edit it, the sound. Like there's a
Yes.
lot that goes into it
Right.
when you're doing a video like that. So how did that all come about?
Sure. Well, I sit on a board, a tourism board. Frank, you've been along at
Yes.
those meetings as well. And it's basically an entity that allows us to do these cool things, allows us to put up billboards, allows us to advertise Delavan and get people to come to Delavan. And so my background being in advertising and in marketing, I just really thought we need to showcase our beautiful lake, our beautiful businesses, our beautiful downtown. There are so many things about Delavan that I don't know if people know about. And so obviously we want people to come visit us. To do that, how do you do that? You know, so we're
Yeah.
doing it through social media. My background tells me videos is huge. That's what people like to see. And oh my goodness, if we could get some great drone footage, that's what we've done of the golf courses of downtown, our brick road businesses out in the other areas, Lake Lawn Resort, the lake itself. Pictures and videos say things that you don't have to verbally say, right? You look
Right.
at the videos, you look at the pictures, and boom, I want to go there.
Yeah.
And if you find out it's just an hour, 2 hours away, and you can make a long weekend of it, it's something we need to do. The band shell, holy cow, who would have thought that the kind of music that is on at the band shell? These are things that people need to know about and have us on a destination list
Yeah.
where they want to come and visit. So
Oh, yeah.
Visit Delavan is able to give us monies to do these programs, and we wanted to get something done still this season. We've got some big plans for 2024 already in the works. We just have to make it happen. But basically, we've partnered up with Adams Publishing to help us with the videos.
Okay.
Just yesterday, we were taking some more pictures around town. We're going to try to get around to a lot of businesses, restaurants, and shops for the upcoming winter season and holiday season. In the summers, we want to talk about the resorts and the golfing and the boating.
Yeah.
And so we're just really trying to put our best foot forward, which is easy to do when you have the beautiful lake and you
Yeah.
have the beautiful downtown and you have all the wonderful businesses and music and shops. It makes it pretty easy. We just have to have to do it, and they're
Yeah.
helping us do it. So we're getting that done, and that's been really fun.
Now, you were from Delavan.
Yes.
You left to pursue all your other career endeavors.
Yes.
How has it been getting reacquainted with Delavan? Delavan now, I've only been out here 10 years, but coming to Delavan for 20 years. It's changed drastically just in the time I've been here. So what's been your experience now that you've come back and there is more businesses, there is
Sure.
more people? You know, how's that been? Or even getting reacquainted with people
Yeah.
you went to school with. I know there's
That's
been a
been
few
so cool.
situations where we go to visit a business and they're
Yeah.
like, Malinda, and we're
Yeah.
like, hey, we went to high school
Yeah.
together. You were
Yeah.
at my wedding. Like, how's that been?
Yeah. That's been really cool. To me, that's been one of the two biggest blessings is reconnecting with people that either I went to school with or their parents of people I went to school with. My dad had 2 businesses in Delavan,
Oh, yeah.
so people might know me from there, being a Delavan-Delavan graduate. Ran into a teacher at the market last week. I had to ask him to move his car.
Oh.
And so that was really cool, not to ask him to move his car, but the fact that I got to see him, that's been really amazing. I did not realize when I took the job and I came to an interview that one of the folks I went to school with was on the board.
Yeah.
And so it's just been really cool. There's a lot of business folks that have come in that have businesses now. So to go from being at school with them and now they're business owners, that's really amazing. And I will say that one thing that did not change is the friendliness of everybody. I cannot express enough about the board and chamber members I've already met, how they're so willing to help. They're so friendly, even people at the market. I was setting up the market a couple weeks ago when the Harley Fest was going on, or the reunion in Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And a gentleman stopped and he was taking pictures, and I was walking by him and he said, "Are you from around here?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." And he's like, "I'm from a different Delavan, and I had to stop here to take pictures of Delavan." And so just the friendliness of people and how approachable people are is amazing. I will say that Delavan means the world to me. I love Delavan, and I am really amazed at how it hasn't changed as far as the people and the friendliness.
Okay, yeah.
But the businesses have changed, and some haven't. Some are the same businesses, and they're just they're very friendly. They're very welcoming, personally and business-wise, and I appreciate that, and it just gets me very excited to be here.
Yeah, and that's what I fell in love with out here too. I'm originally from Chicago. So
yes, you are.
Walking around in my neighborhood, there's no waving and hi to people. And so even when I first came out here, it was a little funny, like just to be standing outside and sitting outside and somebody you don't even know walking by. Hey, how are you? Good morning. Hey.
Yes. I will say that's something that has changed. I don't remember that you could sit outside and have a meal back when I was here.
Yeah.
Having the opportunity to sit outside. I don't know who brought that to Delavan, but that's also downtown Beloit too.
Yeah.
And that is amazing. So that is something different that I have noticed.
Yeah, I think that just updated a couple years ago.
Oh,
so it's
that's so
in the
cool.
recent past that it happened. But yeah, it's even better at night when you're driving down and then all the street lights are on and then people are sitting outside. It's just such a beautiful visual for Delavan at night when you go past Old Wisco and you got people, the doors are open and they got people sitting outside, and Jonathan's has people sitting outside, and even in the mornings with Boxton Burlap and how
it's been packed.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time to be in Delavan.
It is.
I feel like,
without a doubt.
Oh yes, you mentioned before a little bit about your family, so. What's that look like? Obviously, you have a husband, kids.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Certainly. I married my high school sweetheart.
You did?
He's a Darien boy. I'm a Delavan gal.
Okay.
So I married him. It'll be 29 years in next April that we've been married. We have one wonderful son who just graduated from Milton High School.
Okay.
I live in Janesville. But he goes to Milton. He went to Milton. And so he is getting ready to leave the nest down to Tennessee. October, I'm just telling y'all, October is going to be tough for me.
It's going to be very emotional.
It's going to be very emotional. I love, and not to say that everybody doesn't love their kids, but I love my child so much. And he's my only child. So
he is the only child.
He's my only child. We have a lot of friends of Zachary's that have become like children.
Yeah.
We are quite the hangout at home, which I love. And I hope they still hang out even though he's gone. But so Zachary is my son. He very much was involved in high school with tennis and show choir and music programs. He eats John up with a spoon because he likes all of this stuff. He's going for audio engineering.
Oh, wow.
Is what he would like to do in music business. So he's going down by Nashville.
Oh, that's the great spot to be for that, especially.
So he's going there. Like I said, my parents had businesses in Delavan. We had Mudloff Oil Company. So it was out of our house. So it was 24/7. Answering the phone, Mudloff Oil, how can I help you? Because he delivered fuel oil to a lot of businesses and farmers in the area. And then we had a gas station right downtown across from the bowling alley called M&M for Michael and Malinda. That's my brother, M&M Car Wash and gas station. So I, in the summertime, would fill up your gas, your car with gas, and check your oil and check your tire pressure. And I would sell car washes rain or shine.
Wow.
So I think that's where I got my selling ability way back when I was
you were
brought
trained
up in that
from an
business.
early age.
Yes. But I also worked at the Abbey Resort.
Okay.
When I went off to college in La Crosse, I came back and worked at the Harbor House at the Abbey, wanted to get a little bit away from the family business. I also worked for McCullough's when it was in Delavan. Now it's Jan's Hallmark.
Oh, yeah.
So I worked at McCullough's. I did even work at the Clown Hall of Fame.
No.
Yes, my mother was very much involved with the Clown Hall of Fame. And so I worked there when it was downtown. I think it was
In Delavan?
in Delavan. It was
Really?
downtown. It was downtown, I believe, where the pet store is now.
Mm-hmm.
It's either the pet store business or the other business right next door. It was in one of those businesses before. It was in the grocery store, which is now the gym.
Oh, the Rockies gym?
Yes.
Okay. I
So
didn't
it
know
moved
that.
there, and so I worked there as well.
We had a Clown Hall of Fame in
We
Delavan?
had a Clown Hall of Fame. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and a
That's really cool.
museum.
Because I've gone to the cemetery in Delavan where it has like the old circus
Yes.
folk
Yes.
that are buried there. And
Yes.
I know that's weird, but we take walks and we'll I just think it's so cool. Like just looking at old headstones from like the 1800s
Right.
and like just seeing that stuff. And I heard that there's a lot of the circus people that are there. So
Some
that's
of the
interesting.
pictures that we just had taken are of some of those headstones.
Really?
So we have pictures of those, which are
Oh,
really cool looking.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, what is on your personal agenda for the next couple months? Now that you made it through the fire of you had to get the golf outing finished, you had to get through the car show,
Right.
but now that that stuff is settling down, is there anything you specifically have in mind that you would like to tackle before the end of this year?
Yes, I would definitely like to set up more membership meetings and have those in stone. We've got one coming up. It's always the second Tuesday of the month.
Okay.
And so our next one, which will be only my third one, because the golf outing was one of those
Yeah.
weeks. But we have our next membership meeting, and it's a little bit different because it's not a lunch. It's going to be a breakfast because it's going to be at the public library.
Oh.
And they need to have it in the space right when you walk up the stairs. So they're
Yeah.
going to have it before they open their doors. So that's going to be at 8:30. We'd love for you all to come out and hear about the history of the library. They're also going to talk about the expansion plans for the library. So we would love for you to come out and have some coffee and breakfast items provided by the library. And then we will go back September 12th to the lunch. I don't have a location yet. So if any of you out there would like to host a meeting or even have conversation with us about speaking at the meeting, we do have the speaker set. It's going to be SCORE, and SCORE is a free business mentoring business that come alongside small businesses, and I think that's going to be really beneficial for our businesses. So that's September 12th, and we're still looking for a location. I have a couple businesses in mind, but we're always looking for people to host and looking for us to speak. So that's one of the things I want to do. I want to get that set for the rest of the year.
Does
all those
it
meetings
matter
set.
who the people are for speakers, or it could be any chamber member?
It can be non-chamber member or chamber member.
okay.
We're looking at these speakers to benefit our chamber members.
Yeah.
So if it's like the SCORE program, I thought it would be really beneficial if businesses are struggling or if they need help in certain areas of their business. These folks will come alongside and mentor you and put a professional who is with whatever need you have. They'll set you up with that professional to help you, and it's free.
Almost like an advisor type
Yes,
thing?
definitely.
If you're just a struggling business and
Right.
I can't figure it out, I don't know what to do, you can call these guys
Exactly.
and they'll...
Right.
and they're going to be speaking at the one at the library,
No, it's September 12th.
September 12th.
The one at the library is all
Is
about
the library.
the library.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Which I think that's a great idea, doing a breakfast thing.
Yes.
Just switching it up, because lunch is so hard sometimes because your day's already started.
Right.
And like for me personally, I don't have a set lunchtime.
Right.
Sometimes I eat lunch at noon, sometimes I eat lunch at 4.
I'm
Sometimes
finding that out for myself as well.
yeah, it's just that once the day gets rolling, it gets so hectic. So to do something in the morning before everything starts getting nuts during the day,
Right.
I actually really like that idea. And that would be cool for future meetings too. And maybe not every single one, because
Right.
lunch is still good, but
Right.
to switch it up and do something in the morning, you might capture people where it works better for their schedule in the mornings. Maybe a poll of chamber members too, and see, as
works
you
out for
business
them.
owners or managers or HR people, what does work better for your type of industry business? And then maybe we can kind of set up meetings
That's a great
based
idea.
around that. Yeah. So
Good job, Frank.
Yes,
I like that. I'll
yes,
make a
we're-
note of that when I find my pen.
So the library chamber meeting is what date?
August 8th.
August 8th.
They're always the second Tuesday of the month.
Okay, so that would be next week,
It
Tuesday.
is. Please
8:30 a.m.
RSVP with us.
Yes. Okay, cool. Is there anything they have to pay, or do they just show up that morning?
This one is hosted by the library, so it is free.
Okay.
Typically, they're $20, and that covers if there's a speaker expense or the meal that is provided.
Okay.
So typically there is an expense, but depending on the business that hosts or the business that's speaking, they can certainly host the meal as well.
Sure. And we did that prior to you being around. So
Okay.
Noble Insurance, we hosted a chamber meeting and we paid for everybody's lunch. So
Very
we
nice.
promoted it beforehand. Hey, come get a free lunch on us. Come hear our spiel. And it was a really good crowd, and it was hosted at Rosewood.
Nice.
And the food that they put out was delicious. It was worth every penny. And
Great.
yeah, and then they had a dessert as well. So that worked out really well. We got a lot of good publicity from it. We got some leads from it. So these things do work for all of you chamber people out there. Give it a shot sometime just to introduce yourself, tell about your business, your story, and you never know who you're going to meet at these things.
Right.
And it's not necessarily you'll even do business with that person, but they might keep you in mind. And then a friend brings something up. Hey, call this guy or call that guy. So
That's
just-
what we're all about,
Yes,
right?
yes.
We're the chamber is about businesses helping other businesses or making us aware of other businesses in the area, because somebody might be in the business for 10 years, but if you haven't needed that type of service, you might not know about them. So it's all about us trying to connect with each other so that we can help each other out.
Oh, yeah. And I've gained a couple really good referral sources, things that I can't do in the insurance world, but I've met through the chamber that do the things that I don't do. And so when something comes up, hey, call my guy Jim. Hey, call my guy Joe.
That's perfect.
And, you know, and then it works hand in hand. And that's how we all support each other and grow. And so, yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes. Another thing that I'd like to do besides getting these membership meetings locked into place is I'd love to meet the chamber members. Obviously, we've been so busy. I feel like I haven't even really sunken in my chair to do
Yeah.
regular chamber things because the summer has been so busy. But please don't hesitate to say hello to me if you come down to the market. Please pick up the phone or send me an email. I'm really hoping to beat the streets, so to say, and get to know folks. I did do that with the downtown businesses just because I could walk there on a beautiful day.
Yeah.
But I do need to get out and about and to the Delavan Lake area and to meet all of our businesses. And another shout out, if you haven't received your membership plaque, I would love to bring the mayor out and some of our board members to actually give you your plaque. So if that hasn't been done, please let us know. I want to make that a mission to get everybody a plaque, get everybody their new updated sticker so you can put that plaque out and display it and be proud that you're a Delavan Lake Chamber member.
Yeah. So there are still like existing chamber members.
Yes.
Might not have gotten their updated like 2023 sticker for
Correct.
their plaque. Okay.
And if you have signed on to be the chamber, and because we were in limbo there for a little bit,
Yeah.
if you have not received your plaque, I want to hand deliver that plaque to you
Ooh, all right.
with the mayor in tow, because
Oh.
Mayor Ryan wants to meet you as
that
well.
makes it even more official.
Yes. And some of our board members. I have to say, too, with talking about the board members, chamber members, please know that your board is amazing. They have been nothing but wonderful and welcoming, and they have been in the trenches before I got here and while I've been here, doing so many things, planning the events, parking cars, sweating bullets out on these hot days at the market. The chamber has been amazing. Even the members that are on committees, our golf committee, holy cow, are those people amazing.
Yeah.
We are always looking for people to come on board. We're going to have a big event coming up, the fundraiser auction dinner that we do in November. We would love to have a committee of folks that want to come alongside us and help plan that event. So if you're interested in doing that, give us a call too. We're hoping to meet right after the meeting, August 8th. That hasn't gone out yet, but we're hoping that folks will stick around and start brainstorming ideas and
Yeah.
to be a part of a committee for that so we can have a big party and celebrate the chamber and the people that make up the chamber, which is all of the businesses in this amazing town.
Yeah, and golf is pretty self-explanatory, but for this annual dinner / auction fundraiser, whatever it ends up being, what can somebody expect if they want to get on that committee? Like, what do you feel like the commitment's going to look like for them, and what job duties does that entail?
Sure.
Like, is it heavy lifting, or is it just...
Right. I think it's first of all, it's going to be brainstorming. What would you like to see? What is a good price point? Where should we have it? What does it look like? Is it a fundraiser? Is it an auction? Is it just a get together? Do we honor some people in the chamber for different things that they've done? It's really, to me, I don't know a whole lot about what has been done, but we're open to any suggestions, and then we'll just start talking about what parts of this puzzle do people want to grab a hold of. You know, do you want to help with the sponsorships? Do you want to help plan the food? Do you want to help do the advertising? I don't know.
Decorations,
just
that kind of stuff.
you name it. So right now, we're just getting into that.
Okay.
So we know that it's going to be in November, and we would just like to have a group of folks that like to have a good time and work together, all get together.
All right, beautiful. Sounds good. Well, yeah, if anybody out there is interested in getting on the committee for the annual dinner / fundraiser auction. Last year it was a casino night.
Yes. I heard great things about
Yeah,
that.
that was really cool. We had a company come out and they set up the tables. They bring the dealers. So blackjack tables and poker and
No
roulette.
go fish.
No go fish.
No war.
No war. We were the real deal. And then we had entertainment. So we had an illusionist, Joe Diamond, and that was incredible. Like, it was scary how he did some
I'm
of that
glad
stuff.
you said it wasn't a magician that like cuts the chamber director in half or something.
No, it wasn't. It was an illusionist that was so good. It was very impressive. So you get dinner, you got a show, you got gaming, other raffles and stuff like that. So yeah, last year was a good time. And that was the first time we did it in that type of format.
Okay.
Previous years, it was like a standard auction where you just get donated items and you auction it.
Okay.
You know, so world
Who
is our
auctions
oyster.
it off? Is there an auctioneer?
There was an auctioneer.
Those people are amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't like somebody that was that fast. There was one guy that's a local guy that did the auctioneering. I had did it one year.
Oh my goodness.
And that was not as much of a disaster as I thought it was going to be. The
You
hardest.
do everything.
I just step in where needed.
That's
no
what we
shame
love.
in my game.
That's
so
okay.
it's funny though. Like, what was screwing me up is, you know, when people are raising their hand and it's like 20 here, 30 there, 30, and then you like get confused on where you
Sure.
left off, and
You need
everything's
to have
so fast
spotters
paced.
out there, right?
So I gained a much deeper respect for those auctioneers because in those moments, it gets pretty confusing.
Sure.
Shout out to our corporate sponsors one more time: Lake Lawn Resort,
Cunis,
Geneva 10, Delavan Health Services,
Simon's Realty Group.
and the beautiful city of Delavan. So thank you guys for your sponsorships. Stream Dudes, thank you for sponsoring this beautiful podcast.
If you want to be on a podcast,
Yes.
you need to give us a call.
Yeah.
I know we're going to have Mayor Ryan. I know we're going to have some board members, but we want all of our members to partake in this. So if you
Absolutely.
would like to chit chat with the chamber, give us a shout out. You can reach me by email. You can give us a call. You can see me at the market. You can stop in, whatever. Smoke signal. I don't know.
That's the
Flag.
way to go.
Can't wait to meet you all.
And I think we've touched all our bases for this week, unless there's anything you got weighing on your mind that you want to put out there to the world.
I don't think so. I think we talked. I think we chit chatted a lot.
Yeah, I thought this went really well for the first one.
Thanks, Frank and John.
Yes, thank you, Malinda, and thank you anybody out there that's listening and paying attention. The Chamber is a growing organization, and we've been having a lot of fun. And there's a lot of opportunity to get your name out there and meet people and network and grow your business with the help of the Chamber.
Yes, I can't wait to meet you and come alongside you, be a partner, and help you grow your business.
All right. Well, I think that concludes this week's podcast.
All right.
So thank you, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.